Hello students, in today's lecture we will be studying some of the constructs and syntax used in C++ programming language. The first thing that we are going to study is the data types that are supported in C++ programming language. Now what is a data type? A data type determines the type of data as well as it determines how much of memory is allocated for the variable declared of that type, right? For example, what are the different data types we have studied in C? Int, float, char, right? So now if I declare a variable of type int, this data type int indicates that the variable of type int will hold values of type integer and not of type decimal, right? So also this data type int also makes sure that the variable has a memory of 4 bytes, right? An integer variable holds how many bytes? 4 bytes, right? So 1 byte is equal to how many bits? 8 bits. So integer holds 8 into 4, that is 32 bits. And each bit holds either 0 or 1. So the maximum value that an integer can hold would be 2 raised to 32 minus 1. Correct? This is with respect to a unsigned integer. Unsigned integer means an integer that doesn't have any negative value. So I am considering all the positive values. If I consider all the positive values, an unsigned integer can hold values from 0 to 2 raised to 32 minus 1. Why it is 2 raised to 32? Because the size of integer is 4 bytes. So that means the data type determines the type of data as well as it also determines the memory that is allocated for that type of variable. Okay. Now this data type is again categorized into 3 types. The first one is user defined data type. The second one is built-in data type and the third one is derived data type. Now with respect to user defined data type, these are the data types which are defined by the user. For example, structures, unions, enums. Now structure is one such data type which is defined by the user. For example, if I want to declare a structure student, what will I do? I will declare a structure struct followed by student and then I will mention all the data members that belong to that particular structure. Correct? You must have studied this structure in the last semester, right? Similarly, you have unions. How do you declare a union? It starts with the data type union followed by the union name, right? It could be a student, it could be a teacher, okay? It is similar to your class which I had explained in the previous lectures, okay? So these are the data type which are defined by the user. If some of you are still not aware of structures, I will demonstrate the concept of structure with a small example. So let's go back to our program, and in this program I am going to create a structure. So how to create a structure? Just say struct followed by the structure name that you want to create. Okay, so I want to create a structure called student. So I will say struct student, okay, followed by opening flower bracket indicating the start of the scope of the structure, followed by the data members of this structures. Like what are the features of student? Features of students are roll number, name, date of birth, branch, semester. So I mentioned those features in this structure. So the first feature is roll number. So I'll write here int roll number. The second feature is name. So I'll take a character pointer. Okay. Similarly, you can add as many features that you want, and then close this structure with the closing flower bracket indicating the end of this structure. Okay. So I have created a new data type here, that is student, which is of type structure. Okay. And the new data type that I have created here is student. So if I want to declare a variable of type student, I will declare it like this. The data type name, that is student, followed by the variable name yes. So yes is a variable of type student, and student is a user defined data type, that is this data type is defined by the user, it is defined by me. Okay, is it understandable? So this is an example of user defined data type. Okay, the second type of data type is built-in data type. Now this built-in data type or the data type predefined in the C++ language or any given language. The data type which is predefined in the language are built-in data type. For example, int, char, float, double, boolean, void. And there is something different from what you have studied in the C language. This boolean data type you do not find it in C programming language. So also void characters. Void character you will not find it in C programming language. So these two things are something which is extra in C++. So C++ has features of C plus it has some additional features, and those additional features here are boolean and void characters. For example, int a. So a is a variable of type built-in data type int. Okay, so int, char, void are all built-in data type, or you can say predefined data type. Okay, the next type of data is derived data type. Now this derived data type are the data types which are depending on user defined data type or built-in data type. For example, arrays, functions, pointers. Okay, if I consider array, I can have array of integers, array of characters, wherein integer and characters are built-in data type. So also I can have array of structures, array of unions, where structure and union are user defined data type. Getting? So a derived data type depends on built-in data type as well as user defined data type. They can either depend on built-in data type or depend on user defined data type. So also if you have pointers, this pointer can point to a address of integer variable or an address of floating point variable or an address of character variable, right? So they depend on either built-in data type or user defined data type. So now let us see a modifier which can be used with a built-in data type or a predefined data type so that we could change the length of the data. These modifiers are used both in C as well as C++. Some of the modifiers which are used both in C as well as C++ are signed, unsigned, long and short. With respect to the sign modifier, this modifier is used to represent both the positive as well as negative value of a number. The sign modifier is only used with respect to an integer and a character data type. You cannot use a sign modifier for a floating point data type or a double data type or a Boolean data type. Sign modifier is mostly used with respect to integer and character. For example, let me consider a signed integer b, whose value could be either positive or negative. So I'll take the value of b equal to -1. So is this valid? Yes, it is valid. By default, an integer or a character data type will be of type signed. So even if I remove this modifier, by default this integer variable will be holding a signed modifier. So what is the size of an integer or a signed integer variable? The size would be 4 bytes, right? The size of an integer is 4 bytes. That means it holds 4 into 8 bits, because 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. That is equal to 32 bits. So what is the maximum value that this variable can store? The maximum value that this variable can store would be how much? If we can see this diagram here, you see that there are 32 bits. I have indexed it from 0 and ended it at number 31. So totally there are 32 bits, and each of the bit will hold value 0 or 1. So in this way I am going to store my data in the computer. So an integer variable will hold how many bits? 32 bits in total. Okay. So what is the maximum number that this variable can store? The maximum number that this variable can store would be 2 raised to 31 minus 1. Now you'll ask me, why is the size of this integer variable is 2 raised to 31? You say there are 32 bits, but then you say the maximum value that it can store is 2 raised to 31 minus 1. That's because the last bit which is there here holds your sign, that is either negative or positive. So the sign is being stored in the last bit. Whether it is negative or positive is being mentioned in the last bit. That's because I am storing a signed integer. Okay. So how many bits are left here? The number of bits which are left behind here are 31 bits, right? Now these 31 bits are now used to store my number. Out of the 32 bits, 1 bit is stored for the sign and the rest 31 bits are stored for the number.